Hi there, Malcolm here with my 353rd Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you a book review for Marvel Select Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin by J.M. DeMatteis. This one was, I think, October's Marvel Select, and it's a reprint from 2024, making it one of the more recent and arguably unnecessary Marvel Selects out there. You know, literally just had the original. And this is a bit of a strange one. It's one of the Spider-Man's earliest adventures. Uncle Ben has only been murdered a month or so ago, and so he and Aunt May are still very much in the grieving period of that, and they're not talking about it, and so there's a lot of awkwardness at home as they're both trying to be strong for each other without actually talking to each other, which causes a little bit of strife between the two, particularly when Peter turns up all battered and bruised, having fought a big bad, and of course she just thinks he's been in a fight. Well, he has, but not in the way that she thinks. And we have this, before Norman Osborn became the Green Goblin, there's someone before him who took the serum, the very first, the proto-goblin, it's known as, this big red dude. And the story partly follows that individual who has been irreversibly changed by the serum, forced to abandon his family because he's become a monster, and has been tasked by a mysterious woman to go and kidnap Norman Osborn's son, Harry. The reasons will quickly become clear, and I'm at a bit lost as to know who this book is for. Near the back of the book is get a subscription with this thing, and there are 3 Spider-Man books within the 11 on display there, 4 if you count the current one. So we've had a lot of Spider-Man already, and one of my main observations with Spider-Man is it does seem to do the retreading old ground quite a lot. Not necessarily getting bitten by the spider, although that does occasionally pop up, but, you know, Uncle Ben dying, trying to deal with the fact that Uncle Ben's now died, great power, great responsibility, that sort of thing. And yes, most of the Spider-Man books have been really, really good. There is also a certain level of getting repetitive. The Peter Parker design is different in every single one, on how the Aunt May design is very different in each and every one. So it's almost like reinventing the story time and time again, but telling the same story, hitting the same beats, going to see this guy to try and get gigs. He goes to a birthday party as Spider-Man. There's a reference to him going into the fight ring. All these beats that have been hit time and time again, and once again we're here. I mean, there's less time to actually tell the story that's being told about this guy and his plight and what this woman wants with Harry. Because even the whole grieving over Ben, that's been done numerous times, and we also have Gwen Stacy in here, whose mother is dying of cancer, and during the course of the story does indeed end up dying from it, which I thought was an unnecessary addition to that. Peter's not even met Gwen officially yet. Now, Spider-Man might have rescued her, but Gwen doesn't know Peter Parker yet. Harry doesn't know Peter Parker yet. No, he's literally still a 15-year-old kid playing superhero. And most of it is narrated from an older Spider-Man, where virtually everybody mentioned has died by this point. Norman Osborn has been responsible for a lot of this, but it's an older, sadder Spider-Man who is telling this tale in that knowing way, knowing that a regular reader of Spider-Man has taken that journey with him, and it's almost a nostalgic look back at those very first months of being Spider-Man, of dealing with Ben's death. But it's retreading ground that has been trodden so many times, it's been compacted into a hard, shiny surface. Where am I going with this analogy? That being said, the story was pretty well told. The villain isn't the big red monster, who's a lot more complex, and I really did enjoy Spider-Man's interaction with Sandman, where they have this big fight, they end up wearing each other out, and the scene ends with them both sitting on a rooftop, just talking it out, dealing with the fact that they are not able to go back into normal society. They're expected to behave in a certain way now that they are what they are. And that was a really touching moment, one I certainly wasn't expecting. And I'd say it's worth reading, probably even worth buying, but recommended certainly for people who are new to Spider-Man. I think those who are well familiar with the films, read all the other Marvel Select Spider-Man books, will probably find that there's not really much in here that they didn't already know. And yes, it's called Shadow of the Green Goblin, and the Green Goblin features very largely on the cover here, but it still features Norman Osborn before he takes the serum. So this character does not feature at all. I think I get away with it by saying Shadow of the Green Goblin. But even so, I did feel it was a slight mismarketed, as it were. And I don't believe, and this is one of the early ones I haven't read, that Marvel Select have actually done Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin in any of their publications. Correct me if I'm wrong there, and I'll gladly take that back, but there you go. So have you read Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin? What did you think of it? Was it a great walk down the lane of nostalgia, or was it an unnecessary retreading of well-established ground? Comment down below, please, but as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it yourself. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and other YouTube things if you want. And until next time, see you later.